Welcome to Manager's Mantra, the leadership series on BSmart by Business Standard, where we bring you insights from some of the world's most accomplished business leaders. I'm Ashreya Kannan, and in this edition, we're joined by Dr. R. Seetharaman. He's the former CEO of Doha Bank and one of the leading voices on global banking, economics, and sustainability. We'll discuss leadership, India's growth story, the global economy, and lessons every MBA student should take away from his remarkable journey. Let's get started. Today, we have the privilege of speaking to Dr. R. Seetharaman, one of the most respected voices in global banking and economics. He served as the CEO of Doha Bank for over 15 years, leading the institution through a period of significant international growth. Over the years, he's been widely recognized for his insights on global finance, sustainability, and economic policy. Thank you so much for speaking to Business Standard, Dr. R. Seetharaman. Let's start off with your journey, from a small town in Tamil Nadu leading to one of Gulf's biggest banks. What were the defining decisions that changed the trajectory of your career?
Thank you. Thank you, Ashreya, for your generous introduction. Yes, it was a wonderful passage, growing from village circumstances near the paddy fields on Cauvery River. Uh, you know, the purpose behind my journey is much more meaningful than the rest of the forms. Come from a middle class family, I wanted to add value to all the stakeholders. So, to start with, my family members, my parents to start with. My mother is an inspiration. I learned a lot from her, and the sheer wisdom of my father
Yeah.
was a driving force, setting a vision, absolute clarity in terms of my understanding. Yeah, the wealth is all about education, recognizing education is an opportunity. Life itself is an opportunity,
Yeah.
and we have to necessarily make sure education come first as a top priority. Was my single concerted vision I had. The rest are all, you know, being true to yourself, and honesty, hard work, commitment, drive, and determination are all the factors which has given me enough impetus for me to redefine the prosperity. And the life is so beautiful. It's interesting as long as you have principle centered value. That's what exactly drives me even today. So you're right. I started in Tanjavur, Tamil Nadu. From there, I wanted to qualify myself as a chartered accountant, which I did. I was a university, Chennai University, Madras University those days.
Yeah.
I was a gold medalist. Then accounting and auditing was my initial understanding as such. I should be a qualified professional accountant. So I qualified. Then I set a clear vision that with the family circumstances, if I have to economically live them, then I have to move across the globe. So I identified Gulf is a space where I need to see the opportunity, which God was kind enough to bless me, and the rest are all incidental. I joined as a qualified chartered accountant in Pricewaterhouse.
Yeah.
Then I moved to the Gulf. I was getting into assurance service to start with. Though I'm an accountant by profession, my passion was more towards technology those days.
Yeah.
So I went there to implement a system. I ended up in taking up a job there as a technology head. Then financial engineering was my forte, being a qualified accountant with technology background.
Yeah.
I started getting into management services. I never looked back, Shreya. It was a beautiful journey, 18 years in Oman and another 20 odd years. At the age of 35, I had the privilege of running a bank in Oman for a brief stint. Then again, people heard about uh, my performance matrix. I was lifting the shares
Yeah.
from 1 Riyal Omani to 5 Riyal in those days, in early 1997. Then the Qatar opportunity came in. I never looked back.
Exceptional.
And those days, globalization was on, re-regulation was on, technology was converging.
Yeah.
And I set in a vision to the board. They want to transform the institutions, and I could add value to all the stakeholders.
Yeah. Dr. Seetharaman, looking back, what do you think are the skills that matter the most, more than technical knowledge, in sort of helping you becoming the CEO?
First and foremost is being true to yourself. I think that's a right reflection. If you introspect yourself and you will be in a position to be useful to yourself to start with. There's a complete harmony if you introspect on a daily basis. The meditation, the family values help me to consolidate uh, my true reflection on a daily basis, introspect myself, and then start setting my priorities. Hard work, you know, integrity of your heart and mind is eternal. That's the first lesson I learned. Once you have this, then setting a vision and setting the right kind of goal and chop down into measurable targets and start driving yourself. And whenever you achieve that goal, you lift your vision again. And that's the kind of exercise helped me for my personal advancement. And again, professionally, there's a goal congruence. And these are the habits which help me to consolidate my personal life and professional life share.
Lovely, lovely, Dr. Seetharaman. Could you talk about, since our interview is with regards to all MBA students, if you were graduating from an MBA college in the year 2026, how would you build your career differently? What are the steps leading to that?
Wow, what an opportunity it is with the changing face of the world.
Yeah,
We are in a
absolutely.
defining moment.
Yeah,
Absolute opportunity is evolving. We have to recognize opportunity is always there. How we seize this. Look at today's context. It is new world order.
yeah,
The industrial revolution now moved towards artificial intelligence
yes,
and sustainable value creation. Convergence of sustainability and AI is the new world order.
yeah,
So if you're a graduate now coming out of the university, here is an opportunity. Think truly global and converge with the skill development on artificial intelligence and sustainable value creations. In today's context, youngsters like you have social justice, freedom, functional democracy is in your forefront. Conceptually recognizing world is a simple integrated village and recognizing skill development is ultimate and reskilling, continuous learning,
yeah,
it's very, very vital. And AI is an opportunity.
yeah,
Today, clean technology and again, carbon accounting. If you're a professional accountant, move towards carbon accounting, ESG, valuations. If you're a technocrats in terms of engineering, then you have an ability to get on with now artificial intelligence, more in technical terms, and carbon exchange skills you can develop. So the world is wide open. It's a global market. Skills are required, and you can always find an opportunity.
but what do you think is the one leadership mistake that young managers repeatedly make? This is obviously, but we're talking about young graduates as well that sit in a leadership position very early on in their careers. What do you think is a repeated mistake that you've seen throughout your career?
There's no substitute for hard work. There's no substitute for continuous learning. Learn, adopt yourself with the changing dynamics, and then making sure you upskill yourself with the changing dynamics. You have a wonderful opportunity to sit
So
in
it's a
your own
combination
mission
of,
and set in
yeah,
your own direction.
yeah. It's a
Destiny is not a
combination of
matter of
hard work and smart work in that scenario.
absolutely, absolutely. Destiny you define is
Yeah,
not a matter of chance, it's a choice. And your thought process matters when it comes to thought becomes action, action becomes habits, habit becomes character, character becomes your destiny. And aim at long term as a person. Don't make the mistake of instant gratification. Aim at long term. There's a beautiful Oriental saying if you aim at short term, you cultivate flowers. If you aim at medium term, you cultivate trees. If you aim at eternity, you build humanity. In today's world, you know, knowledge is abundant. The wisdom is a challenge.
yeah,
The information overflow, you have to get in your priorities right. So if you have a long-term vision and set in your right kind of uh, you know thoughts leadership within yourself, integrate your heart and mind, you will have lesser conflicts, more harmony, love the whole world. You love yourself to start with. That's very important. You
yeah,
love yourself, radiate positivity. More important thing is positive thinking.
yeah.
If you have this attribute, your journey is just an opportunity and you keep learning out of it. And even if there are setbacks here and there, you'll adopt yourself with the changing dynamics.
Yeah, eloquently put. And you're absolutely right. Today's day and age, we're running after instant gratification. And I believe most of us are victims of that. Thank you for that. My next question to you is about AI. As you already mentioned, it's become a buzzword. Every CEO today is talking about AI. But beyond the hype, how should, future managers actually think about AI inside an organization?
It's a new world order, as I said. There's an extraordinary set of transformation is happening. AI is not going to replace human beings. If you work with AI, it's a
Yeah.
bigger opportunity. Those who know AI will replace you if you are not updating yourself.
Yeah.
So it is not a hype, it is real.
Yeah.
The business is getting remodeled. Restructuring your business is not an option.
Yeah.
Again, redefining your skill base is not an option.
Yeah.
So that's why I said upskilling towards AI and the convergence of sustainable value creation is ultimate.
Yeah.
And that's the new world. So it's going to be interesting world. It's a new world. It's a beautiful world, and you're going to live the state of the world in today's context. The more I see it, the opportunity is endless. And youngsters like you are going to, you know, set in your own vision to make sure you create a better world and better citizenship to this world. That's more important because the technology advancement which you're going to see today is going to create value chain which is going to eliminate extreme poverty, gender equality is your right today, and again, clean air or clean energy, and ensuring we have global warming and climate change is a major, climate risk management is a major challenge that you have to fulfill from your
Yeah.
side as individual or institutions, countries and continents today is focusing on that. So you create your world and you are part of the whole submission. So understand the only factor is to recognize that you understand a new world order and setting your footprints in such a way you integrate your heart, mind, and soul.
Yeah.
If I use the expression, the world is beautiful.
India wants to become a developed economy by the year 2047. What sectors do you believe will create the next generation of global companies?
Well, India is in the right direction to start with in terms of the overall eminence. India's eminence in the last 10, 12 years has been very prolific. The brand equity which we built in
Yep.
is going to be value driven. We have showcased to the world that we are second to none. Our growth momentum is the scorecard side. If you look at whether IMF or World Bank, we have a bigger opportunity to become the world third largest economy by 2030. 5 trillion is already there.
Yeah.
You can scale it up to 10 trillion in the next 3 to 4 years time, and again propelling towards extrapolating again rather to larger goals to world third largest, and again moving up in the value chain to second is not far. The groundwork is already done. You have younger population. Where else the alignment between social justice, freedom, functional democracy, monetary policy, and fiscal policy is happening? Nowhere in the world. If you ask me specifics in terms of sectors, we are setting our vision again in the new world order like AI. AI is going to be value driven. Our technology convergence over the years from late 80s
Yeah.
is adding value, and our professional advancement in terms of free trade and again attracting investment inflows of late in the last 10 years is a compelling story for anyone to recognize there are opportunities in India than nowhere else in the world.
Yeah.
The future belongs to India. This century in specific belongs to India. Youngsters should be, you know, understanding this. I've been traveling across the globe and I see a bigger opportunity in India than nowhere in the world. And the the sectors which will be focused in semiconductors or artificial intelligence, and again data analytics, uh, clean technology, anything relating to sustainable value creation is going to add enormous amount of opportunities.
Absolutely. India is pushing for Atmanirbharta, self-reliance, make in India. What do you think still needs fixing before India truly becomes a manufacturing powerhouse?
Well, it's a great vision. 2047 Viksit Bharat has been a propelling story around the world,
Yeah.
world over. Global Indians are recognizing this opportunity. We have seen the reflection of Indians around the world adding value. The inflow of investment is coming through. Now, what we need to articulate is ease of doing business again. Our business climate needs to be improvised in competitive terms. We have a sound monetary policy. The financial sector has been well defined. Our policy reorganization towards financial inclusion, as I said, is good. Now we have lifted over 300 million people in the last 10 years from extreme poverty.
Yeah.
But that's not the end by itself.
Yeah.
In the manufacturing sectors, we have to be cost competitive.
Yeah.
Unless you are cost competitive, or borrowing cost, will be higher. We need to get the right ratings. So we need to make sure there is an alignment between monetary policy and fiscal policy, and also it is already there, but we need to scale it up in multiple form and substance. Our policy reorganization for transformation is already on, but we need to attract inflow of investments. It means ease of doing business is equally important. We also have to necessarily make sure we have to convert the currency at some point of time. Indian rupee is not convertible, as I see it. Now, with the changing dynamics, we need to have our own sovereign rating, sustainability ratings. We need to set in emissions, because the rating agencies are, in a way, is not casting right judgment. That is also a major concern. A country where there is a progressive vision and execution, producing over 6.5% every year, and inward investments are there, financial stability is there, political stability is there, rating is low. So what we need to do is set in our own foundation for sovereign ratings and sustainability ratings, and then bring down the borrowing cost. Now, there's no better place in the world which is going to give investment return than India. We need to fine tune certain, geoeconomics and geopolitics. So there has to be a convergence of economics and politics. That's what is happening through the current government. I think our eminence as a Vishwa Guru, as they say, is already visible. In political terms, we have to get it right. We are getting it right. Our foreign policy is absolutely non-aligned, and we are marching towards that. So when it comes to economics, the policy definitions we have taken is all right, but we need to converge more towards free market dynamics, ease of doing business, and again, ensuring we get our own sovereign ratings to our advantage so that we get inward investments. Then we can balance the frame.
Let's talk about the India Gulf economic relationship. And that relationship has definitely evolved beyond oil. So, where do you see the biggest opportunities over the next decade, Dr. Seetharaman?
Well, we are seeing the bilateral trade between Gulf and India is very evident. We have over $100 billion in bilateral terms. Now we are moving to multilateral opportunities. We have trade and investments we are linking. If you take, for example, where I'm sitting now is UAE. The bilateral trade and investment is already happening. We have signed the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, CEPA, as they call it. As India is now signing up in terms of free trade around the world, and they are also linking investments. Now, UAE, for example, in the last 3 years, significant investment they have made in very many sectors. This is the model. And again, making sure our payment systems, UPI, is transcending borders. That's enormous amount of strength.
Absolutely.
Now, we have a telecom is converging, payments is converging, and again, funding is converging. Capital, commerce, and connectivity is coming together in India, nowhere in the world. Such a big market is available. And Gulf is recognizing this. Now, if you look at the history, the balance of payment was tilting more towards the Gulf. Now we are linking trade and investments, and that's a welcome change. Now, more and more sovereign investments will come to India. That's what our Prime Minister is doing it. And an enormous amount of transgression taking place between West Asia, and we lead the table. We lead the table in substance. There's a functional democracy, transparency is there in terms of overall governance, political stability is there. And again, Indians, wherever they've gone, Indian techno skills and their commitment to the society is very much visible. This is an opportunity which is getting redefined in the Gulf space. More and more I see it. with the changing phase of the war. Now, the current war has again rekindled the opportunity for the sovereign states to the Gulf states, I mean, to put more investments in India. That's what is an excitement is all about. Trader investments, banking and finance is mushrooming. Of late, I've seen Emirates NBD has put $3 billion in RBL, one of the Indian banks. So banking is also taking place again, whether Abu Dhabi Investment Authority or Qatar Investment Authority, or for that matter, Saudi public funds, Kuwait investments. They have a committed outlay for investments in the current years, and that's what is SEPA has been in the through in the last few years. Even Oman has of late signed comprehensive economic partnership agreement with India. So it's all coming together now. In my opinion, we will be getting equating almost 100 billion investments only from the Gulf year on year, and
Yeah.
that day is not far off. So already we are touching around 35 to 40 billion
Yeah.
in terms of investments. More and more will fly in the coming days.
All right, let's slightly shift focus and talk about interest rates. The central banks across the world are, balancing inflation and growth. So, what do you think future business leaders should understand about the interest rate cycles?
Well, the global growth is sustained, to be honest. The geopolitical risk which is happening
Yeah.
is distorted the overall global growth. It
Hmm.
was originally envisaged as 3.3%, by 3.6% to start with in October last year. It was redefined to 3.3%.
Hmm.
Again, with the current advent of this, geopolitics, we
Yeah.
have bigger danger. So, World Bank is predicting around nearing 3%, between 2.6 to 3%. That's what the reality is all about. Inflation is around the world. It will put
Yes.
in gross terms around 4%. India itself, as an oil importing country, we are also averaging around 4%. In spite of the fact we did a fantastic job in terms of monetary policy, the distortion is on account of consumer price inflation, especially oil Now, what we need to articulate is we need to make sure we moderate our inflation. How do we do it? Realignment of the supply chain. India is engaging in it, whether oil or a semiconductor, or even inflow of investments is contingent on how much we are stable and functional in terms of supply chain.
Hmm.
So we need to. I think that's the kind of direction India is initiating already. We have seen when the Ukraine war was started,
Yeah.
we were buying, in spite of American sanctions, we are buying from Russia. We are
Yeah.
consolidating our position around the world in terms of our identity to feed our, uh, you know, priorities.
Yeah.
I think the opportunity lies in, transparent governance and making sure sustainable value creation towards climate risk management, ensuring carbon emission reduction comes in, ensuring we have transition finance comes in from the world.
Yeah.
And Gulf itself is transiting.
Yeah.
They are from gone are the days where 45% of the world oil, 20-25% of the world gas comes from. They are moving towards,
Correct.
green hydrogen, solar, wind. That's what exactly
Other forms of
India
energy.
has to secure in terms of inward investments.
Yeah.
Already happening. I mean, we have investment partnership going on in terms of energy transition between the Gulf states. So the monetary policy and fiscal policy is one aspect. Global growth in terms of distortion is another aspect. I think we have identified our priorities and we are going in the right direction. Otherwise, last quarter was compelling evidence for us to see as over 7%, 7.6% growth momentum we have envisaged. And even
Hmm.
the scorecard this year is not less than 6.5 to 6.6%.
Yeah.
So it's all going right for India. Let us trust the leadership. Let us trust it's a defining moment. India's policy decision is in the right direction.
But Dr. Seetharaman, speaking of how volatile the situation is right now, what do you think, are the biggest financial risks that businesses sort of underestimate today? And what do you think they
Climate
should be
risk.
wary of?
The one risk which is impacting now is monsoon is now, is already
Yes.
scoring cards. That's a
Yes.
good sign.
Yeah.
But we have to be conscious. We have to be conscious of one factor, that everything is contingent on how much innovation we bring in to for sustainable value creation,
Mm.
and that's our priority. Creating clean tech, If you ask me financial risk, that's a major risk. Climate risk is a major financial risk.
Yeah.
So sustainability is not an option. More and more, corporate norms are changing towards ESG and CSR. So if we start recognizing nature is an opportunity,
Hmm.
our our value system, if you look at it, we are the only society in the world which transcend and converge with the nature. This is nowhere in the world. So all that we need to do is get back to our roots. The COVID has given us enormous amount of opportunity, and that has propelled the digital advantage. We are second to none in terms of digital advantage. Where else in the world you have airport, seaport, road, rail?
Absolutely.
Trillions of dollars of modernization is happening, and there is consuming public, and you have younger population, more than 65%, less than 30. So this is an opportunity. And what we are trying to articulate is how do we map our financial risk into a business process and create a value chain. Then not only 300 million people we can eliminate from extreme poverty, we can lift our gross consuming public to middle class. Then more and more inward investments will come.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if we are in a right phase with the right direction.
Correct.
And all that we need to do is to make sure every individual, the responsibility starts with you and me, come to terms with the value chain in terms of sustainable creation. And that's what I would, youngsters like you, I will say, even the students should focus.
I'm so glad you touched base on digital payments. India has definitely made remarkable progress in digital payments and financial inclusion. What do you think should be the next phase of inclusive growth, and what do you think it would look like?
Now, see, we have uh, clearly we are seeing the convergence of AI
Yeah.
and conscious um, machining is happening. So how we adapt ourselves with the changing phase, with the technology advancement is an opportunity.
Yeah.
And we are seeing we the we embrace the technology and sustainable value creation. So I think our way forward is going to be bright with the global leadership evolving to be a sustainable value creation. I think our immediate step is to adopt with our priorities like financial inclusion, further scaling up, making sure we improve the business climate, making sure we have policies and uh, procedures and process internally integrating through e-governance, and more than anything else, climate justice and corruption-free governance. We have seen the top leadership is setting the right kind of foundation. There are individual pockets which were faltering. Now, people movement has started now. The movement which we are seeing now is people movement. So human dignity comes out of social justice. Now, individuals and institutions now recognizing empowerment of people is happening, democratization of AI is happening. So this is going to augment further opportunity to run a clean, corruption-free government. And everything is showcased in tandem, in real time.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful opportunity for us to eliminate the corruption and extreme poverty.
Right. As we near our end towards the interview, my final question to you, many MBA graduates aspire to become CEOs. So in your experience, what separates executives who reach the top from those who sort of plateau in middle management?
Well, life is a beautiful opportunity. Trust yourself is very important. If you start trusting yourself and being true to yourself,
Yeah.
transparency sets in. So you will set a direction. Where you come from doesn't matter. What you aim at, how participative you are in your leadership. Everything is a team play. If you see as an individual, you can accomplish nothing.
Yeah.
You know, you have to have attitude of gratitude. You have to keep in personal life all the stakeholders, including your parents and your siblings. When it comes to corporate management,
Yeah.
it is Again, the same theory holds good. We started with the basic slogan, Loka Samastas Sukhino Bhavantu. We aimed at sustainability from the inception of humanity. So value creation is all about recognizing stakeholders, not only shareholders.
Yeah.
That's what I aimed at. So it is not only shareholders, it is customers, it's regulators. And good governance is very important, right? That's why compliance is very important. So regulatory alignment is very, very important. And human capital, more than anything else, you have to have dignity
Yeah.
and respect. It's very, very important. So if we aim at social justice, again, if you aim at all the stakeholders, social risk management comes in real respects. When I went to the Gulf 45 years before, I first looked at how I can bring in the carbon emission. I would have lost a job at least 20 times throughout my career. And I was taking alligator and python when I was a CEO running a bank.
Yeah.
Showcasing that this is a major issue. I was not worried about myself. I was worried about the society at large. If you aim at, the bigger picture, the rest will follow. Actions are automatic. You don't worry about aim at position. Your character building, integrity. Integrity is one man army. Integrity is tested only when you're tempted. Throughout my career, I had a test of it. Right? You were talking about Doha Bank, and you know the story how I got into that position. Even in Oman, the same story. The local was fired, and I was given the job purely on account of integrity. I never looked back, so I never asked for positions. Position is incidental. Your profession and your character is integral, and that's what I would say.
Lovely.
Be true to yourself.
Yeah.
Life is so beautiful. It's such a symphony, and it's harmony between heart and mind. And eventually, your only leader is your soul. Respect your, the value, the God within you, and rest of the faculties will, you should drive as a vehicle. The driver is you, the soul, and your body and mind will operate, and you will radiate positivity. You will add value to your family. You will add value to society. Positions comes in, recognition comes in, and these are all incidental. You will relish every phase of your life, and that's what matters, isn't it? Shreya, youngsters like you,
absolutely.
I would seriously suggest, everything is an opportunity. Life is an opportunity. Enjoy it.
Yes.
Have full confidence in you. Enjoy the drive. Every day is interesting. Every day is inspirational. Every day is motivational.
Yeah. Very true. Very true, Dr. Seetharaman. Before I do let you go, one quick rapid fire round. One word, one sentence answer only. India in one word. How would you define it?
Future, bigger opportunity.
Leadership in one sentence.
Being true to yourself and perspective.
Biggest mistake that young leaders make.
Instant gratification, seeking for instant gratification.
All right. And the best career advice you've ever received?
Trust yourself.
One skill that AI cannot replace.
Emotions and love. Pure. Loving the humanity is something which only you can do.
Yeah.
So that's what matters.
And
AI cannot.
AI
cannot emulate.
Yeah. And one habit every MBA student should develop.
Respect yourself, introspect yourself. Everything is your way.
All right. All right. Lovely speaking to you, Dr. Seetharaman. This was an absolute pleasure. I'm sure that our students found this conversation insightful. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Looking forward.